Prices in Mexico have been rising quickly, and it seems living there costs more and more each month. We had to move out of our house in Queretaro, Mexico, and as we looked at our options, we could see that we would need to spend more money to have the same standard of living. In this video, I want to share with you why we took the decision to become digital nomads with no fixed home at our 30 years old, and why we think we can save money by traveling. Since I've been making videos on YouTube, I've met a lot of people from the US and Canada who've decided to move to Mexico in search of a better life. Mexico is becoming a very popular place for retirees, especially people from the US and Canada, and I've met some of them because of my YouTube channel. And of course, I'm very happy to call them my friends. A common pattern that I've seen between the retirees who moved to Mexico is that they've been working very hard all their life, and then when they move to Mexico, they make their dream true and they make the most of it. But I think that nowadays things are different and the old rules don't apply anymore. And actually, I believe that traveling earlier is not only possible, but it can also ensure a comfortable life in your later years. It sounds backwards, right? Let me tell you what I think. My husband and I both work online, which is great because it gives us the flexibility to work from wherever we want. Unfortunately, in our situation, things don't look too stable. But don't feel bad for us. Let me explain why. Obviously, part of my job is to make videos on YouTube. I started to do YouTube as a hobby, and then as I was seeing that it was earning more money, it became my main job. But recently, my channel and a lot of other channels have seen their views dropping. YouTube is a very unstable way of making money, and nothing is guaranteed. By the way, if you want to help me reverse that trend, help me by liking this video, comment below, and subscribe if you are watching for the first time. But I don't only rely on YouTube. I also started a Spanish online academy called Thriving Spanish. The purpose of this academy is to help people to gain confidence to speak Spanish, or for people who want to learn Spanish. I started this business over a year ago, and I'm very happy to say that it's growing steadily. I also would like to say that there are 3 other teachers working in this academy now. I know it's a long way to go into make it in a very real and reliable business. My husband is a full stack developer and he's working in a startup company in the US. If you know anything about the tech sector, you'll know that a lot of people are losing their jobs. His company has been downsizing recently and has laid off many of his colleagues. Of course, he's worried about this situation. Unfortunately, he hasn't been laid off, but we don't know for how long this is going to be. We don't know if this is going to change tomorrow, and also we don't know how long it's going to take him to find another job. In this situation, you might think that the last thing we should do is to pack up everything and start traveling, right? Well, the opposite might be true. The basis of our thinking is that we are aware of the things that we have no control over. You can make the best plans in the world, and something completely out of your control can ruin everything. Because of this, we are prioritizing flexibility and allowing ourselves to adapt to whatever the world throws at us. YouTube is a great example of this. A couple of years ago, I was having a lot of views. Now, not so much. This video can make me $5 or $500 or even 5 million. I wish. Wherever you are, the economy is something far bigger than you. Economies always have good and bad times. That's just life. Sometimes there will be work, other times not so much. It looks like a lot of the world is heading into bad times now, but that only means that good times are about to come. I didn't expect that Russia would invade Ukraine, and I wouldn't have guessed that this would make things much more expensive, like energy. I also would never have imagined that relations between the US and China would cause the Mexican peso to become super strong. Over the last couple of years, a dollar had been worth over 20 or 21 pesos. Now, it works less than 19 pesos. This makes a big difference in a small business that charges in dollars, like mine. There are many things which we can't control, but they have such an impact in our finances. It could have been easy to find yourself in a position which it looked great in that moment, but it totally changes because of external factors in the future. What can we control? So it seems that there are so many different factors that are against ourselves. But what can we do to improve our situation? My husband and I are very fortunate that we can work remotely. As long as we can keep doing this, we also have the opportunity to increase our options. A few months ago, my mother-in-law came to Mexico and she was telling us about the situation in the UK. She was telling us about how worried she was with the electricity. Everything was getting very expensive and winter was approaching, winter was coming, so she was wondering what she could do when the strong winter with the high prices of electricity. For example, through factors outside of our control, the Mexican peso has strengthened considerably recently, increasing our expenses. At the same time, currencies in other countries are becoming weaker, such as Colombia. Currency fluctuation is a fact of life, and it provides opportunities and risks for people. Being able to move around means that we don't get stuck in difficult situations, and actually, we can try to benefit from these natural changes. A few months ago, we were told by the owner that they wanted to sell the house where we were living in Queretaro, and we were considering whether to buy it or not. We were thinking Queretaro is becoming popular for a lot of people, it can be a good investment, but at the same time, there was a lot of fear, at least from my part. Thank you very much to all my patrons who support this channel. I hope you enjoy this trip with me in Colombia. This is a very important part of my life. Colombia is a country that I really like as much as my country, Mexico. I even made a video telling you how confused we were. We didn't know what to do at that moment, whether to buy the house, the apartment, the house or not. And a lot of you answered in the comments to buy it. A lot of you as well said that it was the time to travel. If you want to watch that video, you can watch it here. I'm gonna leave the link here. You know the answer now. We didn't buy the house. We didn't buy it because we thought that at the end of the day, owning a home can take money out of our pocket. And we were saying it because we already own a home. With the house that we own, we haven't had a good experience. We have to pay, of course, property taxes, a lot of maintenance. I remember that I told you that my house was flooded 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So the value of my house, of our house, is not the same now. It decreased. So we didn't buy a home and we decided to invest the money in something that is likely to grow in value, such as stocks, with no effort. What do you think about this? About investing the money instead of buying a house? Let me know your comments below. There are external factors that are out of our control and that they can impact us in a way that we didn't even imagine. But if we are prepared, if we keep learning and we are up to date, we will be ready for those changes. I'm seeing it with my YouTube channel. It was very risky to think that my YouTube channel was going to give me the income forever. I started to open my Spanish Academy last year, and I am super glad I did it because I took advantage of one skill that I had. And now with the business that I have online, I'm learning quite a lot of different things. I'm learning administration, marketing, organization, how to be the manager of a company. The purpose of this is not to show off, but it's something that I admire of my husband as well. He was working as a teacher a long time ago, teaching all over the world. That was the thing that a lot of young people would do. He decided that wasn't for him and it wasn't going to last forever. So 4 years ago, more or less, he started to learn programming. He taught himself. And now he knows that if he loses his job, he's going to be fine because he knows that he has the skills to offer his services. Now, you might say, why didn't you move to another part of Mexico? Do you remember I told you we came last summer here to Colombia and we enjoyed so much, very much. We love how kind people are. We love the culture, the environment, the scenery, the coffee, the food, that we wanted to experience that again. Look at how beautiful it looks. Let's go further. I know it sounds like a cliche, but there's something unique about moving to another country. It feels like a fresh start again, and it's giving me access to new perspectives that help my mind grow. We were liking our routine so much that we started to feel scared about that. We were fearing that in the future it was going to be even more difficult to travel just with one suitcase and know about the world. We really feel at home here by now. We aren't saying that we're going to stay here. Actually, the whole situation motivated us to know more places in Mexico as well. So we are very happy that we've taken this decision and that this whole situation motivated us to start traveling again. We don't know if we are going to keep doing this for longer. I'm not saying that we are going to be digital nomads forever, but this is what we want now. And if we ever find a routine, we get tired of this, I think we'll be ready to settle down and probably in the future buy a home. If we ever buy a home for us, it's going to be because we finally settle down and we really feel comfortable at doing that. Now, let me know in the comments, is it possible to travel and be at the same time financially responsible? I would love to know your opinion. Of course, if you have any recommendations, let me know. See you in the next video. It's going to be about the city where I'm living and what exactly we're doing here. A few months ago, when we were told by the owner that they wanted to say that